homes and buying, different things. And so, I mean, I don't know exactly what he's doing. So, I mean, I haven't seen him in quite some time.
Saying like that, people get money, man, things change. I don't care whether it's your father, mother, whoever.
100 million. If he's burning through 5, 6, 7 million a month, you still got taxes, you still got responsibility.
Following Floyd Mayweather's $42 million fall, his own family has spoken out. According to his father, a straightforward discussion regarding a car descended into a furious dispute that resulted in a terrible falling out. When money comes, people change, he observed, lamenting the decline in their relationship brought on by fame and fortune.
We had, at one time, we was coming up, we have never had an argument in our life, me and him. Then we had an argument on what was the name of it? HBO. We was on HBO. Then another time we argued over by the car. I'm saying, man, what is all this about now? I'm just saying, and we never had no argument. All of a sudden, I don't know. I'm just telling you, man. It is what it is. Sometimes, when people it ain't about me training or anything like that. People get money, man. Things change. I don't care whether it's your father, mother, whoever. Father, mother, brother, sister, name it. If sometimes when people get money.
Another commenter, Jeff Mayweather, expressed bewilderment and worry over Floyd's recent way of life. He said that he no longer truly understands Floyd's actions, which include purchasing buildings and launching numerous businesses. Floyd's life after retirement appears to be chaotic. Jeff brought up the irony of Floyd's retirement and subsequent resurgence through exhibition bouts. It appears to him that Floyd is unable to let go, not for the attention and most definitely not for the cash.
I have no idea. I mean, like I said, I don't necessarily see Floyd very much, so we don't really get a chance to talk very much, and so I don't really know what's going on. I know he's doing things that to better his life, like buying homes and buying different things, and so I mean I don't know exactly what he's doing. So I mean I haven't seen him in quite some time, and I haven't heard about him talking about doing any more exhibitions.
When it comes to legalizing bank robbing, I'm the best, Floyd Mayweather once boasted, a phrase that encapsulated his public arrogance and business certainty. When he was at his most successful, turning fights into multi-million-dollar paydays, the remark was made. However, such phrases now sound more like an excuse for reckless financial behavior than a flex. He might have been oblivious to the hazards ahead because of his confidence.
A quick heist. I'm gonna let y'all know this. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. At the end of the day, I'm the smart one. Because I don't care if you write good about me, you write bad about me, just keep writing about me.
Floyd's old business colleague shared a startling realization. Even in his best months, Mayweather was spending more than he was making. It appeared that his outflow was greater, regardless of whether he was earning roughly $5 billion or $6 billion per month. Neglected taxes, recurring expenses, and necessary payments. That kind of thinking prevented him from maintaining his wealth. The money quickly started to evaporate due to the weight of unrestrained spending.
Look, man, we both made some real money, but you start burning through. You make $2-3 million a year, you burning through $100,000 a month. You ain't really got that much money.
Shit, he probably spending way more than that.
No, I'm talking regular dudes. Say we made $3 million, we burning through $100,000 a month. We really don't got no paper like that saved
that's
up.
A fact.
So even if he's making $100 million, If he's burning through 5, 6, 7 million a month, you still got taxes, you still got responsibilities. So I don't know nobody's bag, but you know, me and you, we real. We never count nobody paper. So
not at all.
I hope he got 10 billion. And I hope he get out of his problem.
That's a fact, because you would figure he should be able to just cash him out. Like whatever the tab is, you know, he should be able to wire that. You know
I think he could do that with no problem. I think he got all the money in the world. I think they may not want it. Some different countries be wanting different things. Think about it. How many times have, you know, we've been involved with something and we go, nah, man, we just throw some paper at it. And I'm talking back in the days when we was doing our little 1-2s.
Correct.
And nah, they don't want to drop the case. You'd be like, I'll put the money up for the lawyer. I'll put the money up for the bail. They don't want to drop it. And you find yourself 9, 10 months later sitting there like, oh shit, this is getting real. So I think that's the problem he going through. I think it may be getting real.
Wow. That's crazy, man. And you would figure his big homie Al Heyman would rectify it.
Al's a powerhouse. Al's that dude. Al should be able to rectify anything. He's a Harvard.
Floyd has always prided himself on being his own boss. He answers to no one, signs his own checks, and strikes his own bargains. He was able to dominate boxing because of his independence, but it hasn't worked out well in business. Having advisors and professionals around you is not a sign of weakness in the financial industry. It's a clever tactic. However, Floyd's emphasis on working alone has resulted in bad money management and dangerous investments.
Mayweather, after the Aaron Chambers fight, went to Monaco and put 11 million on black. 50 million on black.
Everyone earns their own money. You do what you want with your money. Right?
Yeah.
But to an extent, I don't respect it because you're someone that's in such a seat of influence. Especially when like, we were younger. We used to
look up to Floyd.
And what's he teaching the guys coming up? Oh, spunk your money on
the
casino,
dumb shit.
Work so hard to get it and then throw it away in the casino. Like, come on, man.
That's the thing. It's like that lifestyle. Floyd is not. One thing he come back doing exhibitions and that, bro.
Sure.
Probably, I don't think Floyd. Don't get me wrong.
I think his level of broke is our level.
Mayweather's flair for theatrics has always been part of his brand, from over-the-top entrances to extravagant displays of wealth. His infamous arrival into Mexico on a tank is just one example of how far he'd go for attention. But beneath the flash lies a troubling pattern, spending vast amounts on things with no lasting value. All to maintain an image that no longer aligns with reality. What once looked like harmless showmanship now appears to be a symptom of deeper issues, a compulsion to uphold a lavish persona, even as cracks begin to show. One of the more alarming claims came from boxer Gervonta Davis, Mayweather's protege, who alleged that Floyd was once detained in Dubai over unpaid debts related to jewelry purchases. If true, it points to a man struggling to sustain the very lifestyle he built his image on. The undefeated champ may now be fighting his toughest opponent yet, financial ruin.
Speechless if this is true, but Floyd Mayweather supposedly is held hostage in Dubai. Gervonta Davis suggested this, who I believe is signed under Floyd Mayweather. Then Floyd responded back of posting a video of Tank dancing on his IG, saying, "We always knew he had sugar in the tank." Like, actually, that's insane posting this online. I'm not even kidding. And then Tank went on his IG story to say this.
Yo, them people over in Dubai that money. Tell them get online right now. And he owe people in Saudi Arabia.
And Floyd responded back saying he should fight Shakur instead. I have no clue what is going on with this beef, but they're basically saying that Floyd Mayweather is broke and owes people money and he's hiding in Dubai. I'm actually speechless if any of that is remotely true, but I kind of can see that coming. I don't know if you guys remember this, but Logan Paul and Jake Paul, like 2 years ago, said that Floyd is actually broke. And it low-key might be true, but we'll see what happens.
Mayweather's financial behavior exhibits a recurring pattern of purchasing upscale goods and either postponing or avoiding payment. According to reports, he lost the trust of his Dubai contacts and vendors, following several instances in which he failed to make payments. Such a lifestyle built on borrowed time and credit image cannot continue indefinitely. If they don't pay their dues, even billionaires will fail.
Tank's come out with a bit of a mad statement, and he said that Floyd Mayweather has been held captive in Dubai because he owes people money and he can't pay them, or won't pay them, one or the other. Before I carry on, please hit that follow button if you haven't already. We're on a mission to get to 10k. Now for me, the idea that one of the richest men in the world cannot pay somebody in Dubai is a bit mad. However, Tank Davis has come out and said ask Floyd to go live right now, and he can't. Which is a fair point, and knowing how Mayweather's ego is, if it was possible for him to go live, he would be responding to this straight off the bat. Now that being said, it wasn't that long ago since we saw that video call between him and Bill Haney on the internet. So whether this is true or not, I do not know. It could just be Tank throwing shots at Floyd Mayweather, because I know that that relationship has been a little bit ropey in the last few years. But you never know, especially with somebody like Mayweather, who sometimes comes across with a bit of a god complex. Maybe he's just tried screwing the wrong people. But let me know what you guys think to this. Do you think that Floyd Mayweather is being held captive in Dubai? Or do you think this is just Tank Davis stirring up some stuff? Let me know in the comments. As always, like, a favourite, save a share, all appreciated. Please hit that follow button if you haven't already. We're on a mission to get to 10k. Peace out.
Additionally, Davis alluded to Floyd's reluctance to let other competitors outperform him. Although this trait makes sense from a competitive perspective, it betrays something deeper. Floyd's ego that prevents him from putting aside his desire to stay at the top at all costs demonstrates his fear of being forgotten, but it also stifles the very athletes he helped raise, ultimately harming rather than protecting his legacy.
He didn't know how good I was and how I would have handled the situation, so he just threw me out there. He was hurt. I mean, not even hurt, he was just bad. First of all, Floyd don't never want to see no one like a fighter do better than them. How the fuck would you say Terrence Crawford should fight Benavidez? That don't make no fucking sense. He don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you.
Is there like a
last question, guys?
Is there like a love-hate for Floyd? Like,
yeah,
the fighter?
Yeah, I love the fighter. Like, I ain't gonna lie, if he was like chill, like he'll be the smoothest, but he's not. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter. And my bad. And he because I don't want to say like he's just a scumbag, but it's like he's a great fighter, and sometimes he can be good, but it's like it's always I'm this, I'm that, and it just I don't know.
Floyd claimed to have made over $350 million from some of his fights. However, sources have shown that some of those figures were inflated. In certain instances, actual earnings come closer to $60 million. This practice of exaggerating income could be a tactic to maintain his reputation. However, it also raises the possibility that the wealth he brags about may not be as great or genuine as he wants his followers to think.
How much money could you reasonably walk out of this fight with?
350 million.
$350 million.
Yes.
Wow. I know you love money, right? I mean,
it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
What do you do with all this money?
You know, cash is king.
Do you have an ATM card?
I'm the human ATM.
Joe Rogan, a podcaster, recently brought attention to Floyd's propensity to overlook taxes, which is another warning.
That money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been. It's not like deception.
No,
it's just neglect to pay.
Neglect, and it's also like I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money. There's probably a point when they're like, "Hey, it's time to pay your taxes," and you go like, "All right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money." And then they go, "That's true, but you owe 50 more." and he's just like, that can't be right. I've
What's
given
not
you
good?
$25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You can sell.
Rogan says this terrible habit may be a big part of why the IRS is closely monitoring him. Tax authorities are not impressed by his extravagant lifestyle.
How about Mayweather?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Not the biggest man?
I think that Mayweather was unquestionably one of the best ever. But I don't know. I mean, it's difficult to say he's not a true fighter because he fought everybody he could of his era. But he was a different kind of skill set, you know. He was very much hit and don't get hit, which is the art of boxing. I think sometimes when these guys carry on and they do the exhibitions and all that kind of stuff, it just sort of diminishes the legacy a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
And that's what I feel like's happened with Mayweather.
Why do you think he does those things, though? Do you think
for money?
But do you
I don't think he's got the money he says. That's what I think.
I think he still needs the money.
I don't
after
think
all
he
these
needs
years.
the money. But you know when you got that lifestyle, right? So when you're spending what he's
It's
spending,
a lot of expense.
Ignoring federal requirements could lead to a legal disaster in no time, regardless of the millions he earned in the past.
If that's safe to say, I should say.
But we might see him more in New York, maybe?
Well, I live in New York.
I know. Dude, by the way, I saw you bought like 40 apartments or something.
Well, no, actually,
I think you bought New York. I mean, oh my God.
I didn't buy New York, but I feel like everyone should own a piece of the earth. And I feel like you can't go wrong with New York real estate. So what I did was, in one of my portfolios, because I don't know the exact number, because they said if you know how much money you got, you really don't have no money. So if you know how many buildings you got, you don't really have no buildings. So I think I own right now somewhere upwards of 100 buildings or more.
The only person who's been able to do like that is Floyd Mayweather. He's the only guy who's been able to just be balling out of control, constantly flashing money, $1 million watches, you know, a fleet of super expensive cars, and still fucks everybody up. The thing about Floyd is he never lost his discipline. Floyd would famously run home from the nightclub. So he would go out in Vegas, he'd be partying. It looked like he's partying, he's drinking water. And then he would have his driver drive, and with his pants on, jeans on, he would jog home. And the dude was always.
Hey, who said Floyd ain't still out here doing big deals? Money Mayweather just inked a massive $402 million real estate deal in New York City, buying up 60 apartment buildings from Black Spruce Management, the equivalent of 1,000 apartment units. Now, Floyd said the goal is to be able to provide affordable housing to families that need it. Most of the units are located in Upper Manhattan. And he said that when he was a kid, his dream was just to be able to own a home, and that you can achieve anything if you put your mind to it. Damn, Floyd just bought the block. I'm proud of Floyd. He's come a long way. This is a guy who was once seen burning money in a nightclub. He spent $17 million on a watch. Not to pocket watch him, but people looked at him for years like, yo, he wastes a lot of money. Does he ever give back? And now he's providing affordable housing? Damn, Money Mayweather's come a long way. This is a real good look. It shows evolution. It shows maturity. Not to mention, it's always great to see another person of color become a landlord in New York City.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm point like this because we're in New York City right now. We're in Manhattan. That's what we do. Come on. All this money made. No partners. All by myself. Over 1,000 apartments. I'm just getting started.